WVEC TV, Hampton.
Time for Buttons Wave or two, and here we go.
This is Jeff McKay, ABC News.
Hello, I'm 13 News Now military reporter Mike Gooding, and I welcome you to this special presentation on 13 News Now Plus. For over 35 years now, we have honored our military men and women with an annual holiday tribute. In the early years, it was called a Navy Christmas, although you might know it now as Holiday Salute. Our very first Navy Christmas aired on Christmas Eve in 1986 and saw reporters John Wessling and Joe Flanagan, along with photographer Bryan Barbee, go to the Med, where the USS John F. Kennedy Carrier Strike Group was deployed for the holidays. In the years since, we've told you countless stories about the sacrifice and dedication of our military members from all over the world, as well as their families, veterans, and Hampton Roads volunteer organizations and industries that support them, both in peacetime and in war. During this holiday season, we're bringing all these specials back out of the archives to show you here on 13 News Now Plus. We hope you enjoy these stories about what life is like on deployment, both overseas and back here on the home front. Thanks for watching, and happy holidays.
He's just on the John F. Kennedy. Well, my dad's a flight officer of the John F. Kennedy. What does your dad do in the Navy? My dad is the commander of the John F. Kennedy.
From Hampton Roads to the Med, it's a Navy Christmas with your hosts Joe Flanagan and John Wessling. It's a Navy Christmas is brought to you by Newport News Shipbuilding and Taco Bell.
We at Newport News Shipbuilding are proud of our long association with the U.S. Navy. We have built more than 200 Navy ships, and Navy people have been a large part of our shipbuilders' lives for almost 100 years. During this, our centennial year, and especially during this holiday season, we are happy to co-sponsor this telecast. We send our deep appreciation to all Navy people and their families for the sacrifices they make for our country.
Hello, I'm Lori Dewey, and I speak for everyone at Taco Bell when I tell you how proud we are to bring you this program, A Navy Christmas. This is a time of year to reflect upon the past 12 months and to set our sights on the future, a future that is so directly tied to you, the men, women, families, and friends of the United States Navy. We're grateful for the opportunity to extend our warmest of holiday wishes in a very special way. Thank you from Taco Bell.
Merry Christmas, everyone, from Naples, Italy. I'm John Wessling. You know, the Mediterranean is a beautiful place to be lonely. The Norfolk-based aircraft carrier John F. Kennedy is anchored just over my shoulder. It's here in the Med that the Kennedy and the other members of its battle group and the Marine Amphibious Ready Group will all be spending the holidays. They're about 2/3 of the way through their 6-month cruises now. During the next hour, we'll show you some of the emotion and some of the hard work that go into a sailor's Christmas in the Med. Right, Joe?
Absolutely, John. Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm Joe Flanagan.
Wait, this came in.
This just in, Santa Claus has arrived. He's here.
You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, and I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list and checking it twice. He's gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping, and he knows when you're awake. He knows when you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. Oh, you better watch out. You better not pout. You better not cry. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Ho, 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 Merry Christmas! You know, every year old St. Nick leaves the North Pole and travels all across the world to bring some goodies to all the boys and girls. Well, one of my favorite stops is always here in the Mediterranean to visit the boys of the U.S. Navy. They do a great job for us year in and year out to make this old world safe, and the least old Santa can do is bring them a little Christmas joy. Why, in my bag here, I might even find a toy for a Marine or two. Who knows? Well, not too funny, old Santa Claus, but we're going to have a good time here. We've even brought some special gifts from the Wives Club and a videotape or two. It's going to be a great Christmas. Ho, 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 ho. See you later.
E da così non voglio più campare.
Italy is a festive country, especially during the Christmas season. Italians love to celebrate. They have songs to sing, ornaments to hang, and gifts to buy. But off their coast are some 8,000 to 10,000 Norfolk-based sailors who are celebrating Christmas a little differently. For them, Christmas is another work week with long lines, long hours, long days, and long nights. It is a long, long way away from home. But the candle of Christmas finds a way to burn here, and the light of hope and the spirit of the season manages to shine. We'll show you that in places like Naples and Sicily, where a Marine and a merchant can exchange holiday cheers. We'll show you people like Petty Officer Wayne Coram of Norfolk, away from his wife and 4 children for the first time and missing them dearly. And we'll show you people like Master Chief Larry Crawford of Virginia Beach, 43 years a Navy man who says no matter how long you serve, you never get used to being away from home at Christmas. From the cities at sea like the USS Saipan and the Kennedy, to the smaller ships like the USS Sumter and the Yarnell, we'll try to bring them home for the holidays, at least for the moment, and try to share Christmas with our Hampton Roads neighbors on the front lines of peace on earth.
The overwhelming sense of life on a carrier is energy and speed. The flight deck is a busy and dangerous place where life and death decisions are made by young people, like aircraft handler Theodore Walker.
Pilot's life, and so are my shipmates which work with me. Their life depends on me.
One of the people who depends on Theodore is Ken Crandall, who just a week ago became commanding officer of Fighter Squadron 32, based at Oceana. This is his 4th deployment. Each one has meant being away at Christmas, leaving his wife and 3 children at home in Virginia Beach. It's not fun.
You decorate the ready room here, and we probably, have a nice dinner at the ship here, and you get lonely and probably write a letter. And I know it's hard, but make a phone call.
Decorating the ready rooms is a ritual for the air squadrons who spend Christmas on a carrier.
It gives you a high, but it gives you kind of a low, too, because you're decorating for yourselves, you're decorating for the spirit of the thing, but on the other hand, you'd rather be home with your family decorating with them, and, it builds your spirits, but then it also kind of lets your spirits down a little bit.
No matter how fast the tempo is on a carrier, it just isn't fast enough to keep a sailor's mind in the med at Christmas.
My thoughts are on home, my family, my wife, my kids. This is my first Christmas away from home. Now my thoughts are just back home with them.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy.
There were efforts, too, by the ship's commanders to break up the tedium. A caroling competition Christmas Eve, and on this day, a demonstration of what this ship is all about. A bombing exercise by the carrier's A-6 and A-7 aircraft. And some razzle-dazzle in the sky by the F-14s. What the demonstration does is break up the loneliness in the 18-hour days on the flight deck and deep inside the carrier.
Now, I haven't seen Joe Flanagan for a while. While we've been watching some of these 5,000 men hard at work, if I know Joe, he's found his way to some food.
Hey, you think that Christmas turkey of yours was hard to prepare? Try cooking 5,000 meals 3 times a day, 7 days a week. Now that's the job of the cooks here in the main galley.
Talk about food. It takes 12 cooks to man the pans here in the main galley. And because the Kennedy is so large, there are 60 other cooks working 4 other dining areas around the ship. 12 hours on and 12 hours off.
Have yourself a good day, my friend.
Now, why would someone want this kind of duty?
I just love to cook. That's how come I become an MS. And just being around food makes me feel good.
I was working breakfast, where we go through 8,000 eggs, 800 gallons of milk, and some 2,500 donuts. 1,400 to 1,500 sailors and Marines march through these lines each morning, and there's no time to mess up on the eggs. Flanagan.
We have a leak. We've sprung a leak.
I am hungry. I want some eggs.
Have you ever seen an omelet this big? You can make it at home. All it takes is
a little cheese on it. And then we're gonna add a little ham on it. A little bit of bell peppers.
How many can eat one of these omelets?
Okay, I could feed 10 out of this omelets I just laid down, about 10 people.
Christmas Day, the Kennedy cooks will prepare 800 gallons of turkey rice soup, 1,600 pounds of grilled tenderloin steak, 2,400 pounds of roast turkey, 200 turkeys, 1,000 pounds of potatoes, 1,000 pounds of dressing, 700 pounds of broccoli, 800 pounds of corn, 100 pounds of cake, 500 pies, and 300 gallons, or about 5,000 servings of eggnog, unspiked. A lot of food for a lot of people.
Yeah, each day some 3,000 enlisted come through the line here in the main galley. Now, just down the hall from here, about 250 officers dine in the wardroom under the watchful eye of a man by the name of Wayne Coram.
Wayne truly likes what he does. And just this month, he made petty officer, which really made him feel good. But this time of year, he'd feel a whole lot better if he were somewhere else. That somewhere else is here on Helmick Avenue in Norfolk, where his wife Cherie and their 4 children live. Laura's 10, Jennifer's 9, Sarah's 6, and little Cody just turned 3. The holidays just don't seem the same without Daddy Wayne around.
Empty. More empty. It's sad, you know, because this time of year makes you think about family and everything, but it makes you feel empty and kind of lost. Everybody has the little pairs they go off on and you're just here waiting.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Yes, the Corms are singing and decorating, but their real Christmas will be in 2 months.
Well, we did get him his Christmas present, but he doesn't want most of it until he gets home because we're having Christmas when he gets home in February. We're gonna have our Christmas tree up and everything, and our lights, and it's gonna be interesting because a lot of people are coming down for his homecoming. So it won't be too much like Christmas here until he gets home.
Number 1. What are the numbers for?
More.
Is that baseball, Dad?
Now leave it to Santa Claus to bring Wayne a video for Christmas for a first-hand look at his loved ones home in Norfolk.
Oh.
As soon as Daddy's done, he'll be home.
What is this, Cody?
Who's going to come see you pretty soon?
Daddy! Daddy.
No.
Watching his family celebrating Christmas without him reminded Wayne just how much he missed them.
It's hard on you. This is the first time me and my wife's been apart for any length of time, except, you know, for when I went through boot camp and A school. And it's really hard, especially when family's kind of close.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. Next year all our troubles will be out of sight. So have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Wayne. I love you.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas, everybody. We've come all the way from Norfolk to bring to you a special gift from the Wise Club of Norfolk, and America remembers.
While the guys were opening the gift from the Wives Club, Santa made the rounds, and everyone seemed anxious to talk to him.
Merry Christmas, Sam. We'll be home in Virginia Beach with my family.
The gift was a banner that stretched from ceiling to floor and contained signatures and messages from home.
I think it's fantastic, is what I think it is.
See anybody?
No, I don't recognize any names yet. I'm still going to look here for a little bit longer, and then I'll head out.
Many a sailor searched for a familiar note, and many a sailor found one.
Oh, I like that. That shows we lovers and missiles back home. That's real nice.
You see her name?
Yes, I already seen it.
What's her name?
It's Sharon Walker, my wife.
And lives in
Norfolk, Virginia.
What do you say to her?
Merry Christmas, baby, and I love you. Be home soon.
Yeah, my wife and children's on there.
What'd you say to them?
I said, Merry Christmas, hi, I miss you, and I love you.
Yeah, I found her.
Tell us who it is and where she is and who's with her.
Fran and Victoria Nelson. They live in Virginia Beach. Well, Merry Christmas, honey. I love you. Thank you.
So Santa was doing his part, and it seemed to put people in the Christmas spirit.
You know, nothing says Merry Christmas more to Hampton Roads sailors than a warm wish from you at home. This is the Fleet Post Office in Sigonella, Sicily, where all the mail from you gets sorted and shipped to the sailors stationed anywhere in the Med.
It comes in here by the truckloads and is dropped off in the postal warehouse.
AGP 2 Kennedy.
Here the crew starts the long process of sorting bags according to ships and land-based locations.
Well, mail is very important to us. There isn't a sailor out here with the 6th Fleet or here at Naval Air Station Sigonella that doesn't appreciate getting mail from home. And we like to think that somewhere in all these bags and bundles back here, there's something for everybody.
Once the bags have been sorted, individual letters are tended to under the watchful eye of handlers who know their job is very important.
It sure helps the morale around here to get the mail here and get the mail to the ships. The guys that come in here, they thank us every time we see a guy off the ship. They thank us for the mail. It's a nice feeling to know that you're helping, you know, the spirit of the sailors around.
Now there's only one way that Christmas mail can get from the postal office out to the ships at sea, and that is by air.
We were heading for the Kennedy with 6,000 pounds of holiday mail from Hampton Roads. That's a whole lot of love. And by the time our big bird was on the deck, the #1 priority soon became the transfer of these orange bags to the elevator for a ride down below. And to think there was another 6,000 to 10,000 pounds of mail not far behind coming from Sigonella.
What we're going to do now is we're going to break down the letter mail in these pitching cases here. And we'll probably hold a mail call and when the bags get full here, and then probably have to hold another mail call later on this evening.
Mail call the best time on ship?
It is for a lot of people, yes, sir. Next to chow time, probably most important.
Here the mail is sorted into divisions to eventually find its way to the ship's various departments.
Engineering, A75.
This mail belongs to the America Remembers campaign. Each and every letter will be answered.
Well, the campaign, and I think everybody's pretty aware of, is simply letters and cards back from the folks at home. These guys are over here in the Med. A lot of them are away from family. They're married guys and away from their families. The younger ones, not married, are away from their parents and so on, their sweethearts. These letters and this whole campaign is to try to make Christmas time away from home just a little bit less lonely than it would have been otherwise, and it's working.
Finally, our mail ends up in the right hands, and a sailor can take that precious time to sit down and read the latest from a loved one. In all, it's about a 6-day journey from home to ship.
Certainly letters say it all when it comes to families apart at Christmas time. You know, some families even send videotape messages. It's with a great deal of pleasure now that I introduce a special videotape message from the skipper of the USS John F. Kennedy, Captain Jack Moriarty.
I would like to take and express to, of course, first of all, to all the families of the John F. Kennedy that we want to wish them a very Merry Christmas and joyous New Year's season. We will be home quite soon, and I want all the people back home to know that we very thoroughly feel and enjoy the support that they have given us throughout the cruise, but most especially the support that they've shown during this Christmas season. You yourself have seen the great volumes of mail and gifts that have come from friends and loved ones back home, and we appreciate that, because that's the kind of thing that makes this ship go and makes every ship go, is the people that support us back home, and we're very, very grateful to have them, and I just want to thank them all from all on Kennedy, and be rest assured that we'll have a lovely Christmas aboard this ship. There'll be a tinge of disappointment because we can't be with our family and loved ones, but we'll be thinking of them, and we want to wish them all a Merry Christmas.
From USS John F. Kennedy, happy holidays!
Wife is Cindy Anderson and Matthew and Bradley, and I'd like to send my love to them. Hope they have a very wonderful holiday season.
just like to say hi anyway. And, wish she could come over and be my roommate for the night, but I guess she can't. So, hi everybody. I don't know what else to say.
Hello to Ingrid Brigham. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, and I love you very much. See you soon.
From Attack Squadron 75, Merry Christmas. Yeah, hello, Ginger. That's my dog. I'm in trouble now.
Merry Christmas, Hampton Roads, from the Seahawks.
Bombs on top of Pentagon and not again it.
Merry Christmas, Hampton Roads, from the Kennedy.
Happy holiday, kids, mom and dad, and everybody.
Just to say happy holidays and wishing I was there, and saying hello to the Norview football team.
A call to general quarters on a guided missile cruiser, Harry E. Arnell.
Each week, roughly, we go to general quarters to maintain a certain level of proficiency in firefighting and combating flooding and the like.
Prepare 2 reports, hot jammed hats, compartment 2 type, 0 type Lima.
Well,
all repair lockers, repair 3.
We've had hit alpha. It's a loud underwater explosion. We'll repair 5, which means we respond to all damages that go for the main spaces, the main engineering spaces.
General quarters, in this case saving the ship after a mock mine explosion, is a standard drill on Navy ships. It means man your battle stations. But not all aspects of life are the same from one haze gray ship to another.
Even though they may serve in the same battle group, the men aboard the smaller ships, the destroyers, the cruisers, and the frigates, find a different lifestyle than on the carrier itself with its 5,000 or so men.
The smaller ships, affectionately known as tin cans, have smaller crews. The Arnell has less than a tenth of the sailors on a carrier.
Well, I think the camaraderie is the main difference. It's a family. In cruiser-destroyer force, you don't get lost in the shuffle.
The contrast shows up in various ways. The Chiefs are a closer community, for example.
Yeah, you can get
Close enough? All right.
There we go.
It seems, too, it's easier to throw a party for 400 than for 5,000, a fact of life appreciated by Alan Doc Rickenbach, the ship's corpsman who grew up in Phoebus.
Since we've been on the Med, we've done some fun things. We've had cookouts on the fantail, where we actually set up makeshift grills, grilled hamburgers and hot dogs, and that was fun. We also have a ship's band that played at the cookouts, and that was during the quieter moments.
Perhaps it was in one of those quieter moments that Petty Officer Walter Schivel, an electronics technician, created Mr. Wally, who took us on a holiday tour of the ship.
Steaming shop. This is ITC2 Johnson. He works down here. He's a very good neighbor. Would you like to say something to the people back home in Norfolk?
Yes, I would, Mr. Wally. I'd like to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's, especially my family and friends back home.
Wish them all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and wish I could be back there with them.
Gee, that was a nice Christmas message. Come on, let's go see some other people that work here in our neighborhood.
Walter, like most of the men on the ship, is enlisted. Bridging the gap between the enlisted men and the commanding officer falls to Command Master Chief Bob Johnston, a 28-year Navy veteran.
Our Navy's 211 years old. My shipmates on this ship can't have a problem that somebody else has not already had. So my job is to, once we identify what that problem is to help them find the solution and not reinvent the wheel.
Bob writes home to Virginia Beach every day, but it's that phone call at Christmas that makes it really tough to be away.
I have difficulty on the telephone. I'm not the old crusty Master Chief that most folks would want to believe. I cry a lot, honestly, on the telephone because I do miss them. The hurt never goes away. It never gets any easier.
Captain Tom McNicholas, the commanding officer of the Arnell, sends this holiday message home on behalf of his crew.
First of all, we're very pleased, and that may sound funny, but I think as a whole, the crew is very pleased to have the opportunity to be over here doing our thing. Somebody has to be here, and we're kind of proud of the fact that we happen to be here this year. Service people all over the world defending our way of life. One of the messages of Christmas is peace on earth, goodwill toward men, and I think that our Navy does a good job of that, and that's what we're here for. So we've got a proud crew, and we're glad to be here and have the opportunity to serve. And next year this time we'll be home, and we'll appreciate home all the more.
Christmas for Americans stationed in places like Sicily is quite an experience. We found that out when we attended this Christmas bazaar in Catania with a group of transplanted Hampton Roads residents.
Sicilian fondue.
There was food to eat prepared by an Italian butcher, complete with a whole array of sausages and interesting little cheeses. There were gifts to buy, like this chair purchased by Clarence and Edna Harris of Kempsville for their little son. And there were ornaments and toys that caught the eye of all of us, especially little Patrick Maroney of Norfolk, who dreamed of Christmas morning.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost.
We even spotted an Italian version of Farm Fresh's Susan Mayo. She was busy frying up a batch of tasty little waffles that everybody ate.
I don't know, it's in between a cookie and a cracker and a Cheeto.
Well, we have our own traditions that we keep, our American traditions. In Italy, they also have Christmas trees and lights and home celebrations, and they dwell on the religious also. They have beautiful presipios, which are nativity scenes set up in the churches.
In the evenings, they have fireworks. They have fireworks for any occasion here, and the churches, the towns, they try to compete with each other on the volcano. And on a clear night from the base, you can look up and see fireworks displays going off around the side of the volcano. It's really impressive.
Mark Bazell is a 74 Kellam High grad. He found an Italian bargain in a German language.
She asked me a question I didn't quite understand. I said, ja. She said, sprechen Sie Deutsch? I said, ja, ich spreche nur ein bisschen Deutsch. You know, so she had lived in Germany for 10 years, and my father was stationed in Germany for 3 years when I was living with him, so I know a little German, so we were able to communicate that way. It worked out really well.
And what'd you buy?
An Angora sweater for my wife back home. I'll take it to her and we'll have Christmas in January when I get home.
Hold up and show them. Tell them what's coming.
Yeah, really, this is it. That gray Angora sweater. It was a good price. It really was.
I think probably one thing that's very different between Italy and the States is that Christmas starts later here. It doesn't start the weekend or 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. It starts 2 weeks before Christmas. So you can't really find Christmas supplies until just a few weeks before Christmas.
There's plenty to shop for here, but some things just can't be replaced.
We had to have a fake tree. We're used to having a real tree all the time. The majority of the time, you know, like saying, hey, I like that smell of a real Christmas tree. And now you got the smell of a fake one sitting around there. Fireplaces.
Yes.
Even looking at Charlie Brown Christmas, things like that. We don't get to do that now.
So you've gotten a glimpse of Christmas shopping here at the Catania Christmas Bazaar. Now John Wessling will take us Christmas shopping with the Marine in beautiful downtown Naples.
Naples has been a haven for seafarers for centuries, so it's the logical place to headquarter support activities for the U.S. 6th Fleet.
Solo 10 mesi. Ci vediamo fra di qualche ora. Per prenderci un caffè. No, Marines. Il corpo di Marines.
Marine Lance Corporal Reeve Swainston is one of several thousand support people in Naples. Reeve has picked up enough Italian to enjoy the town, in between providing security for the American facilities here. On this morning, Reeve was touring Christmas Alley with some friends. Christmas Alley is a place where you can buy just about any Christmas item you want, year-round.
pensato di meno.
Pensavi di meno?
Sì.
Signora.
Reeve was looking for something Italian for his mother. Easy, you say?
Believe it or not, if you go around here in Naples, you'll find a lot of things American. Believe it or not. And I was basically just out looking for something all Italian, 100% Italian, so that I could send it to her.
It's hard to walk through Naples without stopping to visit some of the hundreds of churches, many of which are hundreds of years old. Reeve's British friend says one of the tricks to getting around is to learn Italian time.
If someone says to you, we'll meet you at 11:30, you usually double the time, 12:30. It's usually think of a time and double it with the Italians.
But a visitor also learns that the Italians are a friendly and enthusiastic people. And they also make a heck of a pizza. Of course, being a Marine in Naples means work, like pulling guard duty at this Christmas show put on by an international grade school. Christmas in Italy is a colorful and festive time, but it's not the same as being home for Christmas.
There's no place like home, it really isn't. All I have is my mother and my brother back in Philadelphia, and it's all I have in the world. And I'm going to be working the Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and I just work Thanksgiving Day. And sometimes it even hurts, it really does. But it's my duty, and I'm proud to do it.
Of course, the men who spend the holidays here in the Med depend on support from home. And home is where many sailors' hearts are at this time of year. Joe tells us about one such family separation.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Come on, Timmy, wake up. Wake up. Yeah. Yeah, come see your father. Say hello to Dad. Here's Big Brother. Yeah, we had trouble finding clothes this year because he's so little. So this is his little Christmas outfit.
Linda Rowland is new to all this. Married just 3.5 years, this is her first Christmas alone. It's also her first Christmas in her new Virginia Beach home, and her first Christmas with her 2-week-old baby. A son husband John Rowland has yet to see.
Well, putting up the Christmas decorations together, the planning, taking Mike to see Santa Claus for the first time, because the past years he's scared to death of him. The normal traditions that we started the first 3 years of marriage. Just the being together. December 3rd, 1986. Dearest John, hope all is well with you. We are all fine. I'm beginning to feel stronger since the birth. Gee, can't believe it's so close to Christmas. Not sure if I'll be ready, but we'll still have a Christmas. Timmy had his first trip to Richmond. Dad's new house is so nice. They have decorated lovely as usual. Timmy was a great little traveler. He cried some in the beginning, but then slept the rest of the way. He seems to be such a calm and sweet baby. He rolls with Mike's punches and seems to understand that's the way it's supposed to be. Mike goes back to school tomorrow. They were off last week for Thanksgiving. Oh, the gals at his school have been great to us. Liz from the Catholic group offered to take him tomorrow, but we can take him. Well, better get. I love you very much. Things are fine here. Take care. We'll write more later. Love, Linda.
Linda's husband works as a jet mechanic supervisor and is on his first 6-month Kennedy deployment. Now, Santa knew the one thing to bring John this Christmas was a chance to see and hear his family, and he did just that.
Where's Kennedy? Kennedy. Is he on the water?
Water.
What does he work on?
Plane.
What do planes do? Give Daddy a big wave.
Wait, Daddy.
Say bye, Dad.
Bye, Dad.
Give him a salute.
Jeez.
Santa knew he'd done the right thing.
Mike, I love you, and I'm sending you a little Christmas present, and take care of your little brother and your mom. We'll see you in February. And I'll be calling on the phone pretty soon again, before Christmas, hopefully. And we'll see you in February. I'm going to eat your brownies. See the brownies? I'm going to eat these brownies here. All these brownies. I'm going to eat them all up. You're not going to have any, but I get them all. But we'll be home in February, okay?
Greeting cards have all been sent. The Christmas rushes through. But I still have one wish to make. A special one for you. Merry Christmas, darling. We're apart, that's true. But I can dream, and in my dreams I'm Christmasing with you.
Well, there are times at night that you walk around your bedroom saying, okay, dear, I miss you. I wish you were here, but it's been a bad day and I can't take it. But everybody else, you say, oh, I'm fine, I'm doing well, you know. There are times, but yeah, it's, you realize down deep that you miss him very much, but you're missing very much, but you realize it's his job, and you take it that way. And you want him to know that you're able to handle it, so it makes him feel good.
By the time Santa Claus made it aboard the Kennedy, you would have thought Bob Hope had arrived. These guys were fired up and ready for a little holiday cheer from back home.
Okay, ADP.
Merry Christmas, North.
To who?
ADP.
It's a 12 by 14.
Oh. Is this wonderful or what? What is it? I don't know. It's.
That's probably the only guy that Hick can beat in air combat.
Well, this was. Family planning, you know.
We know it.
Thank you, Linda.
There were gifts that tried to be optimistic and gifts that got right to the point.
I already had my boxers, so... It's not what you call a subtle hint, but...
These two aviators seemed to mix and match as they went along.
Here. That must be for you. You guys gonna trade or what? Now I gotta bend over.
Hey, Dyke, any ordnance tape with that?
Yes, a good time was had by all as the big man in the red suit, or was it the big man in the green suit, spread the message of Christmas to all.
Merry Christmas.
I feel like Karnak.
Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. Vixen and Blitzen, all his reindeers pulling on the rein. Bells are ringing, children singing, all is merry and bright. Hang your stockings and say your prayers, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight.
Merry Christmas, Hampton Roads. All right.
The Kennedy Wives Club Christmas party wasn't really for the wives and families as much as it was for the sailors, 5,000 miles away.
1, 2, 3.
The families got together by department and put a quick Christmas greeting on videotape. It would become the top-rated show on the Kennedy closed-circuit TV system. Of course, no Christmas party would be complete without a visitor from the North. One of the first to sit on Santa's lap was 7-year-old Tony Griffin, who asked if Santa could help bring Daddy home. No, but he could help explain why Daddy was away.
Would my North Pole still be standing? No, because somebody...
Tony's father, Tony Sr., was among the Kennedy sailors to see a 3-second glimpse of the family. Hearing from the family is one way the cruise passes more quickly.
We send tapes, we send audio tapes to each other, and I think that's what's making us get me through here, and the help of Jesus.
Mess specialist Tim Morgan has only been married a short time, so without kids, his wife Ann helped out at the party. He and the other sailors left no doubt how the message hits them.
Right in the middle of your heart, it just hits home base. Seeing your wife, even if it is just for that split second or 2 or 3 minutes, it's just to see her smile and know that she's thinking about you back there. It's a good feeling.
I kind of like to see her, you know. I know she's really there, and everything's okay. I see a smile on her face. It just makes me feel good, and makes me happy.
The girl under my mom's crown.
The greetings go by so fast that a sailor has to have quick eyes to pick out his family, but he always can, even though the younger members of the family may not look quite the same as they did 4 months ago. Rick Kearns knows they won't be the same when he gets back.
Like when I left, my son Matthew wasn't reading yet, and the time I get back, my wife said he's reading. So, you know, instead of Dad reading the book to him, he's going to bring the book to me and say, Daddy, let me read you this book.
Andy Anderson is missing his family too, but he and his roommate have done their best to bring Christmas to the carrier, decorating their stateroom while their minds wander home.
My thoughts are definitely not here in the Med. They're at home with the wife and kids right now, and all the people in the Tidewater area.
Andy, like most sailors we talk to, has a clear sense of why we should all care about the servicemen and women who make the sacrifice.
This isn't the best time of year to be away from home, but we really love America and all the people in the Tidewater area. And we think it's worth it, what we're doing out here. And we can't wait to be home.
Merry Christmas from Harry E. Arnell.
All right, I'd like to wish my wife, my daughter, my mother and father, and my in-laws all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and God bless you.
Denise, Dwayne, Nicole, Mom, Dad, everybody, Merry Christmas. We'll see you soon.
From the USS John F, Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas to my wife and the kids, Mary, Paul, Shannon, Angie, and Aaron.
And Merry Christmas to my wife, Lori, and my 3 boys, Chris, Daniel, and James. And Merry Christmas to my mother and father who live in Virginia Beach, and my sister who lives out in Chesapeake, and another brother who lives in Virginia Beach. I'd like to throw it in to my brother and his family in Atlanta, too, so they don't feel left out.
First of all, I'd like to say Merry Christmas to my mother and dad. I hope they have a nice Christmas. Murray at the best there. To my brothers and sisters, all of them. It's 9 of us.
This exercise room might be on any ship in the U.S. Navy. But because it's on the USS Saipan, most of the men who work out here are Marines. They're members of the Mobile Amphibious Ready Group. And they, like the Kennedy Battle Group, are spending Christmas in the Med.
The ships in the group, the Saipan, the Raleigh, and the Sumter, are operated by Norfolk-based sailors. Their purpose is to get the Marines in a position to hit a beach if the need should ever arise. The Saipan is home to Larry Crawford, one of the oldest Master Chiefs in the U.S. Navy. At age 62, he's a 43-year Navy veteran who doesn't mind being called a salty old sea dog.
I feel at home on the ship wherever it goes.
Master Chief Crawford has not only chosen to stay in the Navy, he's chosen sea duty over a shore position.
I find that the family relationships between the families are much closer between shipboard personnel than people on shore commands. Shore commands, you may only know the person works at the next desk.
Here on the ship, the next desk might well belong to a Marine. Having the Marines embark has some impact on shipboard life. The weight room is busier, and so is the mess hall. George Bussey, who runs the hall, says the few and the proud can do the job with the knife and the fork.
I see, and we feed probably about 1,000 a day, not counting the crew. So we average to feed right around 2,000 people per meal. But yeah, they definitely eat a lot more than Marines do. A lot more, a whole lot more.
Between meals and workouts, the Marines do a lot of amphibious exercises, going to beachheads by helicopter or by landing craft, which are based at Little Creek. Among the Marines who will spend Christmas on the ship is Gunnery Sergeant Joseph Alston. He's part of the high-tech Marine Corps, spending much of his time in front of a computer terminal, even though at this time of year, his thoughts often go home to Newport News.
Well, this is the first season holidays I'm away from my family, but this is harder to some people. I listen to them talk and how they react as far as being away from their family, and it's very hard to some of them.
It seems being away for the holidays is something you never quite get used to. But Robert Gwynn of Norfolk, just like his buddies, has managed to cope.
I've done it before. It's like the third one I'm missing, so you get close to the people you're around, you work with, get a friendship with them, to make the best of Christmas you got.
And so our hour comes to a close, and we leave behind the pizza, the shopping, the crowded streets, and the Italians' wonderful passion for life.
At the same time, Joe, we leave behind several thousand Norfolk-based sailors who'd rather be spending the Christmas home with you, but instead they're here in the Med.
You don't come here for a week and not go home untouched by the men and by the emotion of holiday separation. Every chance that the sailors had to stand in front of the camera and look the camera in the eye and imagine it was their mother, their sweetheart, or their children, you could see the tears well up in their eyes, and we were getting goosebumps. At one point, we even had to turn the camera off when Wayne Coram was so moved by hearing from his family on the videotape that we just had to take a break from all of it, because it's a very emotional and very moving experience to be here and see what these people go through.
At the same time that you sense that emotion, Joe, you sense their dedication, how hard they work, and their sense of purpose for being here. We had a chance to watch flight operations on the Kennedy from the flight deck, and it's dangerous on the flight deck. It's hot on the flight deck, it's cold on the flight deck, but there is a true sense of purpose here. I think it was probably best summed up by Captain Tom McNicholas of the guided missile cruiser Yarnell, who said that their sense of being out here was peace on earth and goodwill toward men, and that's what the holidays are about, and that's what their 6 months here in the Med mean.
Absolutely, and we leave you Christmas 1986 with this special homecoming prepared by photographer Bryan Barbee. Merry Christmas, everybody.
A Navy Christmas has been sponsored by Newport News Shipbuilding and Taco Bell.
We of Newport News Shipbuilding join with all the people of the Hampton Roads area in sending our thanks to all naval personnel and their families, and especially to those who are deployed this holiday season, protecting the peace and freedom we all enjoy. May you all have a safe and happy holiday, and may 1987 be a wonderful year for each of you.
We hope this program has helped make your Christmas a little brighter. And on behalf of everyone at Taco Bell, we are pleased to have shared a Navy Christmas with you. We're grateful to the men and women of the United States Navy and their families, and we extend our warmest wishes to all of you for a joyous holiday season.
Transportation provided by TWA, now serving over 90 cities throughout the world, including Europe, the Middle East, Africa, the Bahamas, Puerto Rico, and the United States, including Alaska and Hawaii. Today's TWA. Find out how good we really are.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. Next year all our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. Next year all our troubles will be miles away. Once again, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore, faithful friends who were near to us will be dear to us once more. Someday soon we all will be together if the fates